Hello, this is Mimi from MimisCraftyShop. Welcome to my channel, and if you are a subscriber, thanks for coming back and checking out what I have been working on. And it's a vintage strawberry keepsake journal. I've had the most fun doing this and just collecting stuff for a couple of years now. I was inspired by Elizabeth from MrsCogsCrafts. She made, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, she made a strawberry journal, and it was, or journals, absolutely beautiful, and she inspired me. And also GG from handcraftbyjustgg, she had made these out of coffee filters and had them for sale in her Etsy store, which is that name, and I will put a link below for that. But these I thought were just adorable, and they were my inspiration for making these. I mean, I was gonna use them on the front of the journals, but they're a little bit too big. And then my thought was make a file folder and do my little file folder things I like to do up. But unfortunately, getting these journals done was the only thing I got done. So maybe at a later date or next year, that'll be my goal, is to do that, God willing. But anyway, these are my traditional journals I like to make. It is 8x6, made out of chipboard, and it's got a, what do you call this? Not a hidden spine. The spine actually is 3 inches. It is made where, you know, when you open it, it lays pretty flat. There's 4 signatures in here. And let me see if I got this in frame. For some reason, my holder for my video is kind of moving down. I'm not getting it. But anyway, I have a vintage, you know, not a hand towel, but linen towel that, you know, you can get. I bought that online, and this is what I made my journal out of. I thought it turned out really pretty, and I put these postcards on there and did a snippet that I like to do as my closure. I did make this up, which is something new. I've never made this before, and I had seen somebody else. There's lots of people that make them, but these are actually vintage strawberries. But I took and just, you know, put some thread spools on there, all kinds of charms, some beads, and you know, just had so much fun doing this. And there's one of those key ring deals, and this is removable. You know, it's got one of those claw things there, and I thought it turned out really pretty. Here is a beautiful little hair clip thing that I like to make, and it's embellished with all the strawberry goodness, fun. Before I get started, I do want to tell you that this will be for sale on my Etsy store. And Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Berry Fields. I got this from the Rubber Buggy. It's the collection I used. Like I said, I was inspired by Miss Cogs and Elizabeth and GG. My kits that I use, the digital kits, I use, of course, ephemera, vintage ephemera. There goes my thing again, doing the same deal. And was MyPorchPrints, which is Stehanie, and the Journal Outlet, which is Emily Hansen. Secret Helper by LilyJ. Little Joys of Boho I think. She's Sweet Strawberry. ScrapLoveBindery. I did get some strawberry ephemera kits from her, and Ginger Journals, which is Lindsay. So those were my journal kits that I used, digital kits. I did buy this black big, I don't know what kind of paper, class that is, but I got this from Amazon. They weren't very expensive, and I really got a good price on it. So this is how I don't like to open this by open that up every time. I like to just pull this off, because my hands don't work that good, but if you know, it's definitely real easy to open and close that way if that's the way you want to do it. I just find this easier just to pull the book in like that and then just pull it off. So see how that is. Isn't that pretty? I just love the way this turned out, and so pretty. Here is an envelope that I did up, and this is my stamps that I got from, oh my gosh, I forgot to write it down, but she sells these on Instagram, and I'll look her up and put a link, but she had like 4 different ones that she had for sale the other day, and I got them. I love the way this opens up, and I did line it. Thought it turned out really pretty. And this is something that I made a copy of. I been collecting lots of ephemera and just made it where it looks very vintage, and it's got some recipes on the back. So this is going to have a lot of vintage ephemera stuff that I have made copies of, and stuff that's actually, you know, old vintage. This is something that I bought at a resale shop. It is made out of a golf, I don't know what you call these things, but somebody else made this, and I thought it was so cute, and I'm actually sending this with it. It's like a little pin cushion and golf tip. I don't know what that's called. I don't play golf, so. All right, let's get started on this one, and then I'll have my other one. I did ruffle some strips here and put on the side different strawberry things, material that I had bought, and I thought it turned out really pretty. Okay, let's see here. I got that going on there. Just absolutely love the way this turned out. I mean, I had the best time making this. It's a little pocket here. I put some beautiful coordinated paper there. This is a little bag, and that's some recipe cards, and I think this comes off too, and I just did that up. Also, I got some kits from Vintage 1955 Joni. She is a wonderful person that my mom actually found her, and she makes ephemera kits, and oh my gosh, they're just gorgeous. But anyway, here is just a little pocket thing I made out of craft paper, and it's just full of all kinds of little journaling cards and just fun stuff. And this is something that I had purchased, and I made a copy of it. It was a saucer magazine, and I just made up some copies because that way I made 2 books, so I wanted to make sure and have enough for both of them. And I love doing that because it really, I love vintaging things up. But I'm going to try not to talk constantly, but this is vintage cigar holder deal, and I put in there vintage paper that I had. A lot of recipes in here, vintage recipes. This is this is a playing card, and I do have some vintage photos in here and another recipe card. This is like a little file folder, and it flips back and forth. This is actually a real piece of quilt that I gotten, and some vintage children's books. Lots of vintage receipts in here. And I apologize for let me see if I can work on this, tighten this up or something. I don't know what's going on with this thing. It's so aggravating when you have trouble with your stuff, but sometimes it does that. Did a little collaging here. This is just some stickers that came with the journal kit. That's out of a magazine. And this is for real magazines here. And these are actually some little things that I made up on when I was on a trip with my husband. And I try to always take stuff to do while he's out doing what he likes to do. That is vintage paper there. But, oh my gosh, I had the best time doing this. Now, I made this up at my mom's house. This is actually a little file folder, and I just like made up a little, that's those math cards. And this is just a playing card, and it's got some of these little jars in here, and it says Strawberry Girl. And it's just full of really cute stuff. And I just love this little girl. She's, that's why I called her Strawberry Girl. She's eating some strawberries and watermelon. What is nothing better than that? And then here is a vintage receipt again. Here's another one of those things I made up using scrapbook paper and just coordinating stuff. I think the 1945, 50s stuff really goes with this. So I incorporated a lot of that, and there's a lot of fussy cutting stuff that I put on here. This is actually a little coaster, little jello, strawberry jello. And I think this is one of Tim Holtz cards. But don't you just love that blue? And a little postcard, came with the kit, little side pocket there. Let's see what this is. I think I made this up too. It's just a little thing I made up. It's like a little fold out thing, and you can actually tuck stuff in there. But I'm always trying to think of new things to make. I get so many great ideas from Instagram, and I do watch some YouTube, not as much as I'd like to, but I try to watch it sometimes. And that is a vintage jar, jar label. Cute little boy. This has turned out so adorably cute. Strawberry rhubarb pie, bingo thing. But lots of goodies in here. I did a little sewing on this one, a little collage. But I'm getting ready to work on some, strawberry jewel pie. So a lot of neat recipes in here. I made this little side pocket here. I thought it turned out so cute. Did a little stenciling. Gonna work on some tall journals. I've got some real pretty blue one, blue and yellow, and also a Texas yellow rose one that I'm gonna do. I've been very, very much wanting to make some of the tall journals. I think they're gorgeous. I love them. This is actually a Kerr canning vintage little book here. It's got recipes in it. It's always so hard to get all this stuff. And two, a lot of this can be taken out if you need a journal and it's a little bit too packed. You can take some of the ephemera out, stick it in another journal. I just love that. I love the vintage magazines. It's got the beautiful strawberries, vegetables, and what do you call it? This right here is one of those transfers that came with, it's actually the kit too. It didn't come with it, but I purchased it separate, so. And this is the little paper clip dangle I made. I like to make those. Another pretty jar, cannon jar, I don't know what you call those either. Vintage ledger papers. This is really pretty. Vintage receipt. I love that lady right there. That came with the kit that I did. And this lady right here, I really loved hers. She came with the kit that I purchased too. There's some more of that, another one of those saucer wheels. Probably not saying that right, but I love these tags. And then this is My Porch Prints, and here's another one from that same magazine that I made look vintage. It is a copy, but sometimes these copies are just, you can, like I said, you can really vintage them up, and they look so, they're fun to do. I enjoy doing them. This is actually a seed packet and some more vintage receipt things inside, and some music paper, a little candle, what do you call those things? I wanted to say candle emblem, but I know that's not right. Isn't that little girl adorable? I don't know what it is. I get on here and I can't talk. Can't remember the name of nothing. And I don't even know how many pages are in this. I'm assuming 160, 170 front and back. It's usually, I try to put it as many pages as I possibly can. And this is actually vintage wallpaper that had strawberries on it that I purchased. Thought it was so pretty. I love this. I made these up at my mom's house. I love these jars that came with the kit. Another vintage receipt. And I love this ticking paper behind here. I think it's so pretty. It just reminds me of the farm journals. I really wanted to make a farm journal, but that didn't happen either. I did get this one made a lot quicker than I did my last journals. It's so slow anymore. But I hope everybody's had a good summer. We are in desperate need of rain. I live in Texas. Isn't that pretty? I just thought that was so pretty. Another little tuck spot there. And we need rain so bad. And a lot of places like Tennessee and northern South Carolina, I think they're getting a lot of rain, more than they need. But we just need it so bad. We're like in a drought. Love those daisies. So cute. Isn't that darling? I actually put that on there, and that's one of those Tim Holtz flowers. And then that little jar, I cut that out. But I thought it was so pretty on there because I love navy blue. That's a vintage card that I had purchased. And here is another one of those little things that I made up at my mom's house. Oh, I actually glued that one in. Huh. But it's got all kinds of little stuff in here. It's like a 3-tiered little pocket. And this is actually a vintage milk carton, not carton, but a milk jar. What do you call them, coasters? I don't know. This is one of those postcards. More pretty stuff. And a tag, and I fixed it up and did some sewing on there. Oh my goodness. I must have lost my paper clip there on that. This is another one of those little things that I made up that's kind of a fold over, and I just like stuffed all kinds of little journaling cards in there and some recipe cards. I'll have to get me a paper clip though. I don't know what happened to it. Must have went flying out. Sometimes that happens. I have to get one of the paper clip. Sometimes they come off. And this is just a little tag that I folded over. Another one of those little paper clips I like to make. Isn't that beautiful? I'm trying to go through this, but it's kind of takes time. But anyway, oh, here's another one of those things I made up on my trip. Thought this one turned out so pretty. Those ladies are so pretty. I love that. And this is actually a recipe, vintage recipe from some long lost person that we used to write down all the recipes. This is actually a little booklet I made up. Another postcard. Some more journaling cards. So very good. But it's the end of the season, August, and that's another one of those canning labels. And vintage magazine, some vintage papers. Let's see what's in here. This is another one of those Tim Holtz. And that's some tags, a little pocket here. And this is a little collaging I did. I did up one of those snippet rolls and at my mom's when I was visiting her, not this last time, the time before, long one on, she gave me adding machine paper, and I just sit there and like put a whole bunch of stuff on there that I knew would go with this journal, and then I cut it up and used it in here as so I'd have little collages. I can't believe I did so many of these salts or strawberries, but I guess I just thought it looked good. And that's really pretty. That's a vintage photo. Isn't that cute? The little boys, their sister with their daddy. And some more journaling cards. This is actually Graphic 45. They sent this to me and I thought it was so pretty. I didn't actually get that, but I guess they were trying to get me to buy it. That's vintage wallpaper. There's another one of those little cute 3-tiered things I like to make. Another paper clip. I think this lady's so pretty. She's out there working in her garden. And oh my gosh, I must have was gonna stick this on here and I didn't do it. So that will have to be fixed. Sometimes things get pushed aside. And this is one of those guest checks, and I just stuck a bunch of stuff in there. And another journaling card. And my thing is going sideways again. I don't know why it's doing that. Whole bunch of stuff in there. This is so pretty. Isn't that pretty? And then the last page here, got another journaling card and did a little collaging, and I made this up, which I thought was cute. It says Farmer's Market. And I put that in there, and then just some more journaling stuff. Vintage Treasures, a stamp, and a homemade by, and I don't have anybody on there. But I'm pretty sure I put a card of mine in here that I made, and I don't know where it was at. I didn't ever see it, but anyway, like I said, this one will be for sale in my Etsy store, so check it out if you're interested. And thank y'all so much for watching, and y'all have a blessed day.